Well, hello there. I gotta change this banner. I no longer have a Cash App account. Actually, they got sued. And when I was talking about something wonderful was happening, that's when I was feeling more optimistic about what is going on today. That's not always how I'm feeling. Well, before we go any further, I'm going to give us one of the pissed off bartenders' rants. I'm going to actually share two because we're behind on rants. So I'm going to share my screen with him. I love this man. He and Troy Crowder and Bo, the fifth column, all of them are just excellent. They mix comedy, Southern style, the Southern redneck. They mix comedy with shit that ain't funny. So let's begin with this rant. It's the halftime show and a history book review.
Well, hello there, friends, and the occasional hate watching foe. How are y'all feeling after the big sports ball weekend? Me personally, I have never been a big fan of professional ball. I'm more of your typical Alabama redneck, roll tide. That said, woo, what a halftime show. I'm not going to sit up here and try and break down all the symbolism that was on display. There are much better creators out there for you that can do just that. But I will say that man sent a message. Never in the history of ever has anybody been humbled so harshly or been beaten so badly in a beef. To quote someone in my Twitch chat today, it's not that Drake can't come outside no more. He can't even peek out the blinds no more. People, I ain't playing. I would rather be put on a t-shirt with them whack-ass little angel wings than I would spend one single day walking around as Drake after what we just witnessed. A whole Super Bowl arena and 100 million people at home singing A minor. No. Live, laugh, toast a bath. Folks, that performance was pure art from start to finish. But Mr. Bartender, all over my book face is people bashing it bigly and saying it was bad. Holy shit, the made-up MAGA patron came back. Sir or ma'am, are you starting to have a breakthrough or a stroke? Oh, neither, Mr. Bartender man. I don't agree with a word you say, but I find you funny. Y'all, that's not even a skit. If you're watching this long enough after I posted it and look around in the comment section, you will see like 7 people with their hands raised because I just acknowledged that they exist. I see y'all. Stick around. One day you too might find yourself on the right side of history. And speaking of people and where they will be found in future history books, I need y'all to start paying attention. Because once again, our felonious wannabe future Führer has said something that sounds like maybe it might have been said by the man with the extremely short-sighted mustache. When asked if his occupation of Palestine would include plans for a right to return, he said no. For context, he said he would send them to better homes. Now how many times in history have we heard that? You know, when they say history repeats itself, I really didn't think it happened so rapidly. I thought surely with such extensive study of our past, we would be prepared to prevent anybody with certain proclivities from gaining power. Wrong. Not only did y'all do it, you people brought him back and started popping his billionaire buddies' boots in your mouth like they were Pez. As always, I will open the floor. Not so fine opposite of friends in the Fanta-Fascist fan club. Please explain to me how buying the West Bank will benefit us back home. And in doing so, I am also going to need you to justify removing a people from their historical place that does not include appeasing AIPAC. Wow, I really am ranting today. Sorry, folks, your boy's feeling a little funky. I might be suffering a small case of con flu. Speaking of, real quick before I go, I got to say thank you to 2 different sets of people. First and foremost, to everybody that saw that video on Friday, and this is where I just dropped the alliteration and talk to you straight up. Thank you so fucking much. Y'all, I didn't deserve all that. I just was hoping y'all would buy some t-shirts to help your boy out and recoup some of his losses. That said, y'all sent too much. I'm going to have to donate some of this to a charity of some sort. I'm thinking maybe like a domestic violence shelter or something. But I'm in awe. Holy fuck. Just dumbstruck, to be honest with you. And secondly, to everybody that saw me at Comic-Con this weekend in Birmingham, Alabama, and walked up and said hi, thank you so very much. You just don't know how cool it was for me, for someone to recognize me. I know that's very vain, but I'm also glad that you felt comfortable enough you could come up to me and say hi and didn't think I was going to be a dickhead. That's the part that really means a lot to me. And with that said, if you do happen to see me out and about, as long as I don't have a kid in tow, feel free to come up. I will talk. But anyways, I have talked too long, and I think it's about time for me to go lay down. Y'all do me a favor. If you made it this far, consider becoming a member. If not, that is perfectly okay. You have you a wonderful day. Keep the motherfucking boots out of your motherfucking mouth. And remember that the golden rule will always remain yeehaw fuck the law. I love y'all. I see you down the line. Well, hello there, friends, and the occasional hate-watching foe.
I love him. And actually, we may have a second rant because we got to catch up on the rants. But for our Black History moment, we're going to come back to we're going to come back to the halftime performance of Kendrick Lamar, a Nobel Peace Prize winner and a young man who to me represents Tupac 2.0, this generation's Tupac. I mean, he actually reads books, and he beautifully sent, there were many messages within that performance. Many maggots are having a meltdown because they want to say, oh, I can't believe how racist that was. Look, white people, you are the architects of racism. You have been othering people for centuries, and you have placed Black people at the bottom of that othering, even attempting or saying that we were the missing link between apes and mankind. We'll study that for a while to see who are the real not missing links. At any rate, I want to introduce to you someone who spoke at the DNC, I believe, in 1964. She is one of the heroines of the civil rights movement. I cry sometimes when I hear her speak, and especially when you know about what she endured just to be able to vote, the beatings that she took. People like Fannie Lou, you know, because this is Black History Month. And now we have Black people who voted for a man who has put Project 2025 in full effect. And one of the main things that are being done is to erase Black people and Black history, because white folks have a problem acknowledging that Black history is American history. And they have an issue because it makes them uncomfortable. Well, since you don't give a damn about whether or not I'm comfortable, you know, don't come over here thinking that I'm going to calm down or make you comfortable. Hell no. If you are a convicted felon supporter or supporter of the ketamine-addicted immigrant who seems to be, who has decided he's going to go in and tear down democracy, you have also stumbled upon you stumbled upon the wrong place, because you're not welcome here. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I don't care about your opinions. Get the fuck away from me with that, because there's no way you can justify voting for this clown. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. And this is the Fannie Lou Hamer's speech in the 1964 DNC convention. I tell you, let me see. Let me get my glass. Oh, there it is. My reading glasses, y'all. So I'm going to share this, and then I will be back, and we will continue with our hump day. Let's try to call it a happy day. We'll do our best. Okay, and with great honor, I present Fannie Lou Hamer's speech at the 1964 DNC convention.
Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee, my name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, and I live at 626 East Lafayette Street, Roosevelt, Mississippi, Sunflower County, the home of Senator James O. Eastland and Senator Stennis. It was the 31st of August in 1962 that 18 of us traveled 26 miles to the county courthouse in Indianola to try to register to become first-class citizens. We was met in Indianola by policemen, highway patrolmen, and they only allowed 2 of us in to take the literacy test at the time. After we had taken this test and started back to Roosevelt, we was held up by the city police and the state highway patrolman and carried back to Indianola, where the bus driver was charged that day with driving a bus the wrong color. After we paid the fine among us, we continued on to Roosevelt, and Reverend Jeff Sonny carried me 4 miles in the rural area where I had worked as a timekeeper and sharecropper for 18 years. I was met there by my children that told me the plantation owner was angry because I had gone down, tried to register. After they told me, my husband came and said the plantation owner was raising Cain because I had tried to register. And before he quit talking, the plantation owner came and said, Fannie Lou, do you know, did Pap tell you what I said? And I said, yes, sir. He said, well, I mean that if you don't go down and withdraw your registration, you will have to leave. Said, then if you go down and withdraw, that you still might have to go because we are not ready for that in Mississippi. And I addressed him and told him that I didn't try to register for you. I tried to register for myself. I had to leave that same night. All of this is on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off of the hook because our lives be threatened daily because we want to live as decent human beings in America? Thank you.
That was Fannie Lou Hamer. And I can't tell you again how proud I am that she, just to be able to hear her speak. Her words are as relevant today as they were in 1964. I remember as a very little girl when my parents marched in the civil rights movement. My mother was the secretary of one of the first branches of the NAACP in the state of Nevada. That may have been the first branch. Of course, Reno would have issues with that, but I digress. I remember when my parents were marching, we would, as little children, we would all be dressed in our best and we would be hustled to a space where there were women who would watch over the children while our parents marched. I remember people throwing rotten vegetables, fruit, eggs, calling them niggers as they marched. And I remember how terrified I felt because I thought that my parents might get hurt or even killed by these racist white motherfuckers. This is Black History Month, but I'd like to say any Black American is living Black history every day of the year in these United States of America. And whining ass white boys who feel like all the good jobs are taken because of DEI, they can't get hired because all the positions are going to blacks or browns. And so now with Project 2025, it's a bunch of whining ass white men who feel they're losing control I'm gonna tell you something. DEI, to those that don't know, white women, y'all's asses are included in that. So it's not just about Black people, highly qualified. You know, they used to say in affirmative action that all of these unqualified Black people are getting positions. We have never been allowed to be unqualified for anything. If we are talking about merit and qualifications, we are usually, in many cases, overqualified for these positions. And Black women, who are the most educated in this country, are the most disrespected and unprotected group in these United States of America. It saddens me that as we celebrate Black History in the month of February, which is the shortest month of the year, that we now have white, entitled, incompetent, and unqualified white folks within this administration who want to totally take away our rights that we have fought and bled for. Black people have to work 2 and 3 times harder to get just a little bit of a bump, to get half as much as we are promised by that Constitution, as we are promised as citizens of these United States of America. In this century, the 21st century, we are still fighting to be treated as human beings. Let that sink in. That we are still fighting to be respected as decent humans. And we have found out that it doesn't matter how decent you are. It doesn't matter how educated you are. It doesn't matter how articulate you are. It doesn't matter how law-abiding you are. If you are Black, you are still less than the most unqualified, dare I say, the uneducated that this clown says he loves. He loves them because he knows they will never question anything he says. He can lie because he is a liar. He is a grifter. He is he's been convicted of being an SAer. You know, we have to speak in code. Y'all know what that means. And even an REPIST, that he has been convicted of being a fraud, because that is exactly what he is. And everybody that is in his administration has paid money to be there. But again, I digress. I said I'm speaking to government employees who are now being threatened, people who have worked hard on behalf of this nation under several administrations, no matter who they voted for, but whose duty is to look out for the citizens of this country, are now being scammed. Now, I understand the last time I heard about the email that went out with the ability to resign, and we'll give you a, quote, buyout. I didn't know that you could buy out federal government workers. I'm asking you to stand your ground, because there are attorneys standing at the ready to protect you if you are fired because you don't have any fealty, you don't pledge of allegiance to an idiot, a psychopath. Stand your ground. If all 4 million plus workers were to file a class action lawsuit, who do you think would, and because now these things that he's trying to do by executive order are being challenged by the courts. We know how he loves to, he's how litigious he is, and how he loves to just abuse our judicial system. So he is challenging the courts. His vice president came out and made a tweet to do his best to rewrite the Constitution. We have a ketamine-addicted immigrant, a racist, a Nazi, and South African Afrikaner, who yesterday or the day before had a press conference talking to Americans about what democracy is all about. You don't know a fucking thing about how democracy works. You are going in and gutting administrations and government departments that are suing, that have fined you or sued you or are investigating you, and yet you want to stand and tell us how democracy works. That is a whole lot of nerve. When you grew up in a nation where apartheid was active, you grew up with parents who were Nazis. You don't have a clue. And in all, you have these dweebs. He's changed his Twitter name to Harry Balls, I guess, because he thinks he's a funny guy. Has a young dweeb talking about he's big balls. Yeah, okay. I fantasize about the day when you all get an opportunity to be tried and sent to prison. We'll see how big those balls are when Big Dick Derek comes in and makes you his bitch. During that alleged post, that press conference in the Oval Office, Mango Mussolini looked totally deflated and weak. We talking about all these press people, all of these journalists bending the knee, CBS, all of the mainstream medias who are still not giving us the whole story, still having to be careful of how they talk about stuff because they worry about whether or not their license is going to be pulled or they're going to be sued. We have them bending the knee, but it looks to me like the tan-colored president has bent the knee to Musk, because Musk is there for a return on his investment. He dumped a lot of dough into this presidential election, and I don't think he won it. I will stand flat-footed and say, I think he cheated. I know he cheated. Millions of us know that he cheated, and this was not a free and fair election with all the gerrymandering and all the voter suppression that is going on nationwide. Speaking of voter suppression, if you have not voted or you've not registered to vote, now you have to take a certified copy of your birth certificate to prove that you are an American citizen. There are white men who are trying to say that black people are not American citizens because we are the descendants of slaves. Fuck you. And that executive order attempting to override the 14th Amendment, where anybody born on this soil is a naturalized citizen, is not even worth the paper that he signs his name on, and he holds up the document with his name on it. His name looks like a bunch of prison bars. Wouldn't it be wonderful if he actually went to prison? What he has proven is that if you have the complexion for the protection, crime indeed does pay. I want to welcome Jaconda. Hey, hi, Kieran. Thank you so much for coming through. Electra, thank you. And yes, Kieran, Black women are still nurturing Americans, despite of how we're being treated. We have always been the nurturers. In the future, we're going to talk about, I have some shows that I am working on. One of them will be entitled or close to a title that White Jesus is Not Your Savior. And I am building that show. White Jesus has been spread around the world. Black people have been hypnotized to the point where they don't want to hear anything against their Lord and Savior. Well, we're going to use that Bible that you revere so much to ask a real big question. I have to say that I am not feeling really well today. I kind of got the shakes. I might have got a little bit of too much caffeine in me. And I also have to go and have an MRI because the doctor here has discovered a dilated pancreatic duct. He has said that it is nothing cancerous from the sonogram and from the CT scans, that it isn't cancerous. However, he wants to take a deep look just to see what's going on. I've suffered with something that has been going on in my lower, in the lower right side of my stomach for years and years and years. Even as a kid, my mother had to give me papaya enzyme to help me digest concentrated foods like meats, potatoes, starchy things. So I've had this going on all of my life, and I'm optimistic that whatever is going on, that I want to give a shout out to Dr. Daniel Ben-Huri. Baby, when I tell you he is eye candy. Woo! I love my visits to Dr. Daniel Ben-Huri. I'm going to go on and have that MRI so that he can get a good look at what's happening with me. And Electra, you are right. First of all, the name is Yeshua or Yahuwah, he that was, is, and will always be. I'm going to use that says scriptures where people will, I'm going to use their scriptures, their Bible, their version of the Holy Bible, the King James Version, which everyone and many Black churches, a pastor will stand up and tell you that represents the inerrant word of God. I have an issue with that because anytime a man touches something, it becomes toxic. It becomes lies. It becomes massaged in order to substantiate their hatred and their racism. We're going to take a deep dive into that. And so, Kieran, he was watching the NFL players. But did y'all see the video? I may have to put you on hold for a minute to find the short where when he walked out at the game, he was booed like loudly and clearly. And the person that shot a video of him coming into the game called him a fucking traitor. That is exactly what he is to this nation. And I look forward to the day when these MAGAs who claim that they worship their Lord and Jesus Christ, that they worship Jesus, I look forward to their burning bush moment when the scales fall from their eyes and they see that they have been duped. And while we are talking about that, we will talk about Paula White, who is his spiritual advisor. She's got quite the story, baby. So we're going to go in on her ass. But again, we have a lot to talk about. It is difficult to wake up every day and wonder what kind of bullshit we're going to hear on today. What is he going to do today? It's tiring. And it's difficult for us to, I don't know about you, but for me, it's difficult for me to keep my sunny and optimistic disposition every day. Speaking for myself, I have never in my life ever used the word hate as it relates to another human being. But I have to work very, very hard daily to keep those feelings from bubbling up. I am angry and disappointed. And anger can be very motivating, because if you get angry enough, you might just get angry enough to do something about this shit. If this country is still about the people, for the people, and by the people, then it is up to us, no matter how weary, no matter how tired we may be, and baby, I know that we are tired, that we're going to have to stand up again, put on our swords and our shields, and we're going to have to go out and we're going to have to fight for this democracy, because if we don't, democracy will be no longer. As we speak, there are measures being taken to see if he can get somebody introduced on the floor, a way for him to run for a third time. It's up to us to see to it that he never, ever gets a chance to run again. That when we take back the Senate and the House in these midterms, that when we put impeachment rules on the floor, that this time his ass will be impeached. That with control of the House and the Senate, he will be a lame duck. That his pimp, yeah, his pimp, he's Musk's bitch, will have to go before Congress, because right now they are blocking any attempt to have him come and testify before Congress, because they know they know these Republicans have no balls. I don't care what they're saying privately. They have no balls. I have no respect for any Republican. None. Because you cannot justify voting for him. And in future shows, I'm going to speak to Black people, the Black folks that are carrying water for this clown. All of you who called yourself conservatives, all of you who stood and tried to normalize what he was saying and doing, you have fucked us all. Your own people. Now you want to whine. We don't want to hear it. You're coons, traitors. At this moment in time, it's about nation building. Black people I think we talked about it last week. Trillions of dollars we invest in this economy with nothing really to show for it, no respect, nothing. There has been a boycott of Target. Their stock plunged. It breaks my heart to hear that Trader Joe's, because I like Trader Joe's, but they've stopped their DEI programs. And again, DEI isn't just about Black people. It's about women too, the white girls, the white women that are holding positions. Y'all's asses are included in that. What is being done currently is to lay all the problems of this country at the feet of Black people. That everything that is wrong with this motherfucker is our fault. Well, we are going to prove that we are everything that is right about this nation. To immigrants who white a line and who come here and have so much to say about Black people, telling us we need to just be happy that we're living in this country and to forget about slavery. I once Had a Jewish man tell me that. I told him that Black people will forget about slavery when Jews stop reminding us of the Holocaust. Our conversation ended, and he got up from the table and left. Immigrants, you know nothing about what my people have endured in this nation. And we're going to take a deep dive in it, and we're going to tell you the story. You know nothing. And sadly, many Black people don't know anything. They don't know about Black history because you know what it was. We didn't get it. I know I didn't get it. Slavery had about 2 or 3 pages. Robert E. Lee and all them, all these traitors to the nation, all the military installations are named after traitors and losers. Were genteel Southerners, genteel. They were just good. They was just good old boys looking for a workforce. They were cruel. They cut babies out of Black women's stomachs and fed them live to alligators. They raped Black women whenever they felt like it. And the men, if a Black man stands and looks a white man in the eye and shows no fear, these days he gets shot. Back then they did what was called buck breaking, where the whole community had to watch as the master would anally abuse a Black man. They don't know anything about the breeders, the men that were brought here in order to breed so that there would be a strong workforce. They don't know that Wall Street began with the selling of Black bodies. They don't know that when we came here, we weren't considered full human beings. What is it, 3/5 of a person? So we were like a piece of furniture, chattel. We had no value except what a white man could earn if he sold us. You don't know about being ripped up from everything you know, to take a harrowing passage, to come to these shores, to learn another language, and in learning and assimilating, forgetting where we came from, forgetting our tribe and our ways. You don't know anything about that because you think white people are winning. They're the best ones to be aligned with. And now y'all's asses have fucked around and found out that you are nothing but a vote. Now you don't want to hear it. You made a mistake. Yeah, you sure did. And unfortunately, all of us have to live in this nightmare because you made a mistake. You couldn't vote for a Black woman. You couldn't vote for a Democrat. Look at what is happening in Palestine right now. Where's Rashida Tlaib, who encouraged her constituents to vote uncommitted? Then shortly after that came back because she was worried that Trump was going to win. Bitch, you played a big part in it, baby. And thus you are sending the ones that you say that you want to protect, the ones that we see Netanyahu abusing, the genocide, the breaking of UN laws. You see now that by voting for him or for Jill Stein's bitch ass, where is she? You don't see her out protesting for y'all. She only shows up every 4 years to be a disruptor with the Green Party. She's full of shit. It's a wasted vote. A vote for Stein was a vote for Trump. Oop, I didn't want to mention his name, for he will forever be convicted felon, a criminal defendant, Fulton County inmate number P001134 5809 over here. I will never refer to him as the president because he isn't. He's feckless. He's weak. He's gotta do what his pimp tells him to do. I wonder, y'all see the Time magazine where they showed the ketamine-addicted Nazi Afrikaner sitting behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office? Daddy hasn't said anything about that. You notice? He's quiet about that. He keeps insisting, I'm the president. No, nigga, you just sitting in the chair. You're doing nothing but bending over and taking it, baby. Dry with some, or maybe with some sandy Vaseline. So now people are saying we're at a constitutional crisis. To me, the crisis began when he sat down in that chair, lying about this landslide. He won by less than 1%. It wasn't the landslide. And again, the gerrymandering and the voter suppression is the reason that he's there. And it is continuing. As I said earlier, now, if you have never registered to vote or you're going to register to vote, you need a certified copy of your birth certificate, because now you have to prove that you are a citizen of these United States of America. Your government ID will no longer be sufficient. If you have a passport, that works, because you had to show a birth certificate to get that. We are in some stinky times. And what I really want to see, what I really desire, as I was speaking a few moments ago about the amounts of money that we contribute to this economy, I want us to begin thinking about building a Black nation, strengthening our communities. Helping young men who have felt hopeless. Building something that will help them feel worthy, help them feel proud, help them know that there are other ways that you can live a good life. And that we have to stop turning on each other and deleting each other. There was for all the wonderful, wonderful, I enjoyed Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance. Did y'all see it? Were you listening? Did you get the messages? The overhead view showed, I'm not a gamer, but you know that device they use to game? The overhead view showed a gaming system. We all in the game. Uncle Sam, Samuel L. Jackson, hilarious, telling it, Black people, we're not allowed to be passionate. We're not allowed to be angry. We have to be humble. We have to tone it down. I ain't toning a damn thing down. I am going to be if I'm angry, God damn it, you gonna know I am angry. I don't intend to tone it down. And I don't want anybody that comes on to spend some time with me to tone it down. I'm gonna have to change this banner. It's getting on my nerves. Hold on for a minute. Let me take this shit down. Now. So I could, yep. Electra says she saw it and got the message. Yeah, there is something going around. What you asked about the fires. And yes, there were a lot of toxins in that smoke, and there are people who have gotten very ill. One of my two of my dear friends, two fabulous vocalists, Eloise Laws and Maxine Lewis. We have been friends for, I want to say, at least 50 years. They have gotten so ill. There were so many toxins in that smoke that their lungs were affected. Eloise got a sinus infection. The little babies didn't feel well. The joints ached, legs ached. It was awful. And I want to say and I, in my heart, feel like that was a targeted situation. The way that those fires burned, turning things to dust, that wasn't no lighter fluid, okay? And I know you understand what I'm saying, that shit was done on purpose. And I want to lay it at the feet of the two main characters in the White House. They hate this state. They hate California. Yeah, I still have to go back to Georgia and settle some things. I'm really hating the South right now. I love Atlanta because of its blackness, because of its beauty, because my last name is prevalent or predominant in up and down that eastern seaboard. At least the master's name is, and I know that my people, that red soil is filled with the blood of some of my ancestors. However, I've come here because I was scheduled to work in a play, and I'm working on a CD with Chemo. Electra, when he came on, you were gifted with his CD. We're working on a CD here, and I'm very excited about it. I get with him tomorrow, so I can keep recording at least the scratch vocals, and we can start to build the tunes. But anyway, let's go on and let me post some of your other. Jaconda, I want to thank you for sending me videos. We watch a lot of the same things. And so you're right. They both know it. Have you seen someone who's won something be so fucking miserable? Greg Palast, the word is getting out. It is, and it's not coming as empty word. It's coming, like you said, with receipts. And that's why they're working so hard to take money out of our different departments, because see, he's got to find money to give those tax breaks to his buddies. Oh yeah, because they expire this year, so he's got to figure out a way. He wants those tax cuts to go on in perpetuity. I think he is an illegitimate president now, and he was an illegitimate president then. He stole it then. This time it was much more sophisticated. And his pimp was being investigated for so many things, he decided he wouldn't be a Democrat anymore. That he would go to darkness so that he's got like 13, he's getting $8 million a day. And I refuse to call him the richest man in the world, because the people who are the wealthiest in this world, they don't come out and flaunt their shit. They're not talking about it. He is not a genius. He's a bullshitter, the venture capitalist. He didn't invent Tesla. Is being sued by the people who did come up with the concept and the company, because he cheated them out of money. Wall Street is saying sell off his debt. Tesla's stock is tanking around the world. And he is figuring out a way that he can break himself and the other dude, because he owes, I don't even know if the tango colored man, I don't know if he's gonna even get any of what this man is. He's a raider. He's going in and attempting to destroy this country. And we cannot allow him to do that. We cannot let him do that. We cannot let him take away rights that we have fought so hard to get, even though we still don't have everything. We can't allow him. We can't permit him to turn back the clock to the times before even women had any rights. For generations, for centuries, Black people have been shouting from the rooftops that if he fucks with our rights, at some point, he's going to come after yours. And we now see that. Hello, Aspie Third Eye. Let's take a look. I'll put your comment up here. Yep. He got help from his buds. And he's installing people in our agencies, the FBI, director, what is it, DNI, is that what Tulsi Gabbard, her flip-flopping stupid ass, is going to be confirmed. Oh, Russia's celebrating that she's going to be in that position. Oh, they're happy about it. You know, I think, I know that you all know that when I began, those who've been riding with me for several years, well, since 2020, know that I began because I love reading the tarot. And I've learned a lot more about it. I trust more of what I see when I pull the cards. Marianne, I began watching her all those years ago. One of the she and Johnny, to me, are two of the finest readers. And Adrian, I'm going to see if I can get Adrian from Red Lentil Healing to come and join me so we can just discuss things and how we're feeling. We're both Librans. You know, we're both Libras, so, you know, we stand with justice and righteousness, you know. She talked about years ago that women would be the ones that would bring this man down. He has never gotten over Vice President Harris dog walking his ass during that debate. Baby, I had to learn how to not call him a motherfucker the way she called him one without ever saying motherfucker. I love that part. But I told you that I've used up all mine, so I have only about 20 of them left. So I'm going to use them sparingly and try to speak in a way that is, passionate. But sometimes a word can say more than one word can say more than if you had 6 words. You know what I mean? So I can't promise you that I won't use adult language on this channel. And if that bothers you, there are people out there that don't use the language and who are offended, pearl clutches, go watch them shit. I'm not here to please you. Understand that. And you're right, the theft, it was not just Nevada. I do believe that all the swing states are looking at the data as we speak. And there is proof that he did not win. And I'm just so sad that Biden and Harris treated this motherfucker like it was like right, inviting them to the White House and inviting them to tea and shit. Oh, God, get out of here. He should never have stepped a foot on the grounds of the White House. Never, ever, ever. Let's see. Here we go. Jaconda has some information. Yeah, they did. They did. In Hawaii, when it just screwed up Maui, burning up Lahaina. I mean, to the point where, you know what happens now? The carpetbaggers come in, and as we speak, they're trying to get homeowners and landowners to sell their shit, to share their land and their stuff to them. Please, if you are affected by that, do not sell. Do not sell. Do not. We will do our best. We will contribute. We'll do whatever we can to help you rebuild, but please don't sell. to these carpetbaggers that'll be coming in here. My friend said there was something called a blue beam that can start those kinds of intense fires. And actually, there was someone who caught a picture of a drone flying through and dropping flammable material as it went through. So that makes me question all the drones that we saw early on in, was it last year when everybody was talking about all the drones that were showing up. It's very troubling. It's very troubling. And Marianne, I don't know if you caught her last reading on, I think it was on Sunday. It was a long one. Her read, she gives it to you straight. She doesn't candy coat anything, but there's always a bit of hope. And her cards, if you haven't gone to see her on Revealing Light Tarot, please do, because she came through and the messages give me hope. They give me hope that we will get through this. Of course, with the tarot, you don't know what the timing is of things. You know, you can't say when it will happen, but we can go forward knowing that that democracy is not going anywhere, and that those who would dare come here and think that because they have money, that it'll protect them, or that they can buy everything. Those young men, one of them who says that he was racist before it was cool to be racist. I didn't know it was cool to be a racist, but I think it's natural for white people, some white people, to be racist, you know, because they are. And again, for the people who got stressed, or the white folks who got stressed out and lost their mind about the blackness that showed up at the halftime performance of Kendrick Lamar during February Black History Month, fuck you. We don't care that that you didn't like it, but how dare you call it racist? You're the racist. You're in denial. We don't get a chance to be fucking racist. We have to deal with racism every day as a black person in this country. How dare you? Fuck you. You know, nobody give a shit. We don't care how you felt about the performance. You could have watched something else if it bothered you that much. And go Eagles. Our ancestors showed up during that performance. Black bodies standing, representing the flag of these United States of America. See, there was so much beauty in that performance. And you can tell this young man knows he reads books. His hip hop, his rap is intelligent. Now, I know that They Not Like Us was a diss record for Drake. I don't know nothing about that because I'm not immersed in that community like that. But I like his stuff. He was telling us we're in a game. You know how to play the game? We're changing the rules of the game. Come on, black people. I don't care how you feel about what somebody is doing or who they're sleeping with or how they look. We need to stop that shit. We need to stop turning on each other and see the bigger picture. And all you hip hop artists, Boozy, all y'all who had so much to say about it, don't hate. Don't hate. Don't hate the game. Don't, hate the game. Don't hate the player. Don't hate. We must cease doing that shit. It's okay to have a difference of opinion, but it is time for us to come together, not just as a community. Because even now I question if we have a black community. We have black neighborhoods. We need to exceed the black community. The collective needs to build the black nation. We don't need to hide and cower and be embarrassed about our culture, because too much of our culture is copied worldwide. So next week, I think it'll be next week, I'm going to dig deeper, and I want to speak to my people, because I love being a Black woman. I love it. I love my people. I love my people. And I would just want us to love each other enough to see the bigger fucking picture, because right now they are doing, they've done all they can to erase Blackness, even in the holy scriptures. We have fake ass Christians, white nationalists, whose God is hateful and hate filled and cruel and abusive. They find a way to make their fucked upness acceptable. And we need, Russell Vogt, who is the OMB director and the writer of the largest part of Project 2025, is a weak ass white man who's turned on the Black. He doesn't want. He wants to destroy the Department of Education because it says they're teaching critical race theory. He wants to take Black history out of the history of this country. Bitch, you can't do it. You're a weak ass, whining ass, sorry ass white man. A little man. You can't do it. Nobody, CRT, as we have discussed, is a graduate study that is offered in some law schools, critical race theory. But Black history is not CRT. And I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not ashamed of that. I don't give a fuck if your children are uncomfortable. I don't care. You don't care about the comfort of my children or my people's children. And I don't have, I lost the baby. We'll talk about that later, because I don't want to go through that right now. But you don't care about my babies. I don't give a shit about yours. I don't care if they're comfortable. I don't care if you're comfortable. We don't have to make white people fucking comfortable. We need to get over that. So I've been here running my mouth for an hour and 10 minutes. I didn't feel really well. As I said, there were some technical difficulties going on. I didn't really make a lot of notes. I just haven't been really feeling like myself. Let's see. Jaconda has a comment about, let me do Electra first. Yeah, other people are asking for the Black folks, where are we, why we aren't protesting? Well, I tell you what, we're tired. And if we do come out and protest, it's going to be for us. How about that? Y'all take care of y'all's own issues. And for Tlaib to try to conflate what Palestinians are going through with what Black people have gone through in this nation is just fucking wrong. I told you I lived in Detroit. I loved going to Dearborn, to a restaurant and to this place that sold the breads, the healthy juices, and the good food. And I wasn't welcome there before any of this shit happened. So she needn't act like Dearborn is a welcoming community to Black people. Now she's out here telling us to honor Black history. Bitch, go take a seat somewhere. Ain't nobody looking for you. Ain't nobody checking for you. And for all of you who had so much fire protesting the Democrats and VP Harris, I don't hear nothing from you now. Why are you quiet? You're not protesting Donald Trump. You didn't do it then. You didn't protest his Klan rallies. And now you're wondering where we are? We're organizing. We're strategizing. We're coming through for our people. We've helped enough. We have marched and sung "We Will Overcome" with too many other folks. When their civil rights are violated, and check this, none of you would know about civil rights had it not been for the bloodshed of Black and others who had suffered injustices in this nation. That's why you know you even have any fucking civil rights. And the only time you want to show up and act like we're in this together, no, we're not. I'm not feeling benevolent like that. I'm concerned about what is happening to us. What this next 4 years, if it goes that long, I'm concerned about the further damage that can be done to the Black community, the Black nation in this America. That's where my concern lies. And that's where my alignment will be. Y'all go check out, I told you, Chris Norland, Norlund. He talks a lot about the ketamine-addicted Nazi. And his he's able to break down discussion in terms of stocks and, complex economic things. He's able to break it down so that it's digestible and understandable. Check him out. Some others that I watch, of course, The Pissed Off Bartender. I love his rants. So we will begin my shows with his rant, because it's our rant. Again, government employees, do not take that buyout, because you may never see your retirement or your Social Security. Right now, as we speak, they're fucking with Medicare and Medicaid, which gives food, medicine, health care to just not only the elderly, but to children. And for the people in red states that hate Democrats and want to say so much about California, baby, check this out. If California withheld their taxes that they pay to the federal government, y'all's asses wouldn't have any ability to have federal aid. You wouldn't get EBT. You wouldn't get Medicaid. You better hope that, if Governor Newsom could say, fuck y'all, I'm going to take the tax money and help rebuild LA, I'd be out there dancing in the streets. Let the red states work it out for themselves. Y'all work out. You feed your own people, because we got people here that need to be fed. Let's see, Jaconda, you're talking about Netanyahu. I can't believe. Yep. Yep. The booing started. Yep. They need to be booed. They need to be given the middle finger. And to the one who booed the convicted felon and called him a fucking traitor and told him to get the fuck out of here, yeah, that's what you are. You are a traitor to this nation, and you're attempting to steal money just like you stole fucking classified documents. Yep, he's going to have the people that he's going to take shit away from, his crowd, the MAGAs. Oh boy, Trader Green is heading a committee. Lord, why they give that bitch a gavel with her dumb ass? Yeah, they're going to have, if they want to see an uprising, let them continue to mess with Medicare and Medicaid. But see, that's where the money is. Even though the Defense Department has passed audits, has failed audits 7 times. That Social Security, there's trillions of dollars there. Let's figure out how we can get some of it. They're robbing you fucking blind, all of us. And now you're whining. We made a mistake. How am I going to feed my children? You voted for it. You're getting what you voted for. The convicted felon was going to sit with King Abdullah of Jordan to try to strong arm him into taking Palestinians, because he's going to build beautiful. It's got the Riviera of the Middle East. Let's see how Iran feels about that, you stupid motherfucker. And to Benny Netanyahu, you can never speak about the atrocities inflicted upon Jewish people when Hitler was in office, when he ruled, because that very same spirit has engulfed you, and you are treating Palestinians the same way that the Nazis treated you. That is genocide. You are breaking international laws. Palestinians have occupied that land for centuries. They fought and protected it for centuries. It is not yours. And you and your brother in arms are both frauds and cheaters and greedy. And it is going to come back, and it is going to bite you in the ass, and it's going to bite you hard. And we are going to be dancing in the streets when it does. That's what I have to hang on to, that karma is real. Johnny from Taro's Apprentice says karma is a bitch, and she knows where you live. We will be dancing. We will live to see all the cruelty that you have wreaked upon other people, on poor people. People are dying because you fucked with U.S. aid. You're not finding any government waste. There's no government employee that's made $30 million, that's got $30 million. You pull this shit out your ass. What do? Shit in a diaper and then read it? Like people read tea leaves? You're lying. You don't come up with any facts. You just come up with bullshit. And unfortunately, it's a bargain at your store, and a lot of people are shopping there. Go to Tabitha Speaks Politics. She's real good. I love her. Go and check her out with her shorts. Every now and again, she'll give a live. So check her out. In any of the FAFO videos, they give me a chuckle. Yeah, they give me a chuckle. Isn't that awful? So, my loves, all of you, Aspie Third Eye, Kieran, Electrostorm, my ride or die, Jaconda, always showing up, always in my emails, girl. I love it. I thank you all so much for coming to our Wednesday hump day. Let's call it a cabinet meeting. I get that. Oh, go to Secretary of Shade, because he's a very intelligent man, young man, and he breaks down the today's politics in funny and digestible ways. Check him out. We will call these cabinet meetings. I want to thank each and every one of you that bothered to come over, spend a little time with me. Again, we have some really exciting topics that we will be discussing. And as the pissed off bartender says, keep the motherfucking boots out of your motherfucking mouth. And as always, the saying will be, yee-haw, fuck the law. I love him. And so until next Wednesday, y'all enjoy the remainder of your evening. I hope that you have a great rest of the week and a wonderful weekend. And we will be back. I'll be back on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I think Jaconda says it's 7 Central time. and 8 o'clock Eastern time. Y'all take care, and I love you bunches. I really do. And yeah, we'll get back to reading cards. I'll get back to pulling some cards. Okay? I love you. Enjoy the evening. I'm going to kind of kick it and relax for a minute, and send me some good energy this way when I go to get this MRI. I'm just hoping that whatever is going on with that dilated pancreatic duct, that it's something that doesn't require any, like surgery or stuff like that. And I'm also researching ways to find foods and vitamins or whatever to kick my pancreas into working as it should. We have to take care of ourselves as best we can. So thank you for coming to visit us at the Venus. We are the Venus Revolution, and I am your Chief Happiness Officer. So I'll see you next Wednesday. Let's close out. Let's see if we can find another song by Chemo. How's that? Would y'all like that? Let's find us another song to kind of close out the night, because he's got some good stuff. Let's see. I'm finding a lot of his work with Hiroshima. Damn, Keems, you got a lot of stuff going on. Oh, here's what I want to do. This is Keem. These are members of my band, Chemo Cornwell, Michael Paulo, who's playing sax. I'm gonna share my screen with their version of Frankenstein. Now, any of y'all that know rock and roll know that Edgar Winter had a fabulous tune called Frankenstein. That is a rock classic. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go out with this here. This is like intense, okay? Take care, y'all. And let's have some fun, okay? So well, he's in this. I'm just going to play a little bit of it, but I tell you what, next week I'll pull up a couple of his tunes from his great album, The Right State of Mind, because it is beautiful music. This was my sax player, Michael Paulo. Woo! Playing his ass off. Yeah, Michael. There you go. I could play the whole thing, and I probably will when I get off. But I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Yeah. Take care. And again, thanks so much. I'll see you next Wednesday.